Hello everybody. Today, as usual, Unlock is interviewing the best of the best in the blockchain arena globally. And today we have with us Mr. Mrinal Manohar, who's the co-founder and CEO of Casperlabs. Hi, Mrinal.
Hi, Laura. Pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you so much for having me on board.
You're so welcome. Because it's a 10-minute segment, so I'm just going to start with the questions. Renal,
Absolutely.
the first one that comes to mind is because of Casper Labs is that why do you think simplifying the blockchain is so important for its development? And what is Casper Labs doing in this regard?
Yeah, I think it's very important because businesses are not going to change their workflows and their processes just to use a new technology. And it's important for the technology to fit in within these enterprise processes. So let me name a few specific things that we're doing to cause this simplification. First of all, we don't support proprietary programming languages, but instead we support Rust, assembly script, TypeScript, commonly used languages. And over time, we can support any programming language. And so now the company doesn't need to staff up more engineers in order to use this technology. In addition to that, we have features like continuous integration and continuous deployment, which enterprises are used to and require in order to test their code before putting something out to production. We have several other features as well, but by and large, the real reason why you have to do this is, as I mentioned, businesses are not going to change the way they do things to use a new technology. The technology should adapt to the business. This is what AWS has done. This is what databases have done. This is what cloud computing did. And I think similarly, people in the blockchain space are continually doing more along these lines. And we're glad to take the lead here and try and make something that can actually ensure widespread business adoption.
That's really great, and that's really encouraging to hear. And what's more encouraging is that in a very short period of time, I mean, I think you started in around 2017, and now, or even later, right? And now, 2021, March of 2021, you're launching your mainnet. And what will this mean for for everybody? And can you explain a little bit about your token sale, the public sale that's coming up, and how?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say the idea about doing what we're doing was probably around late 2017 when myself and some of the co-founders were thinking about it, but we incorporated in late 2018. So, the company's been around just over 2.5 years, but what's been good is we've never pivoted. Like what we wanted to do in late 2018 is exactly what we've done for the last 2.5 years. In terms of mainnet, really excited about the launch. What it means is now the network is fully permissionless and decentralized. No one controls it. After that point, the public basically owns the network. The network will be operated by distinct and permissionless validators. People can enter and exit the network and give infrastructure to it as they please, consistent with a proof of stake protocol. So basically the network is no longer the product of any one set of people. The network has now become an open, permissionless system, just like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And that's a very, very important stage for a protocol, because this is what really gives it its decentralized and permissionless nature. We've tried to ensure that we have a fair community sale so that as many people as possible can participate and be part of this network. We're doing it on the CoinList platform. So if anyone is interested in looking at more details, it's at coinlist.co/Casper.
Thank you, Rina. That was really concise and very much to the point, which I like, and I think our users are our watchers are gonna like as well. The main clients that's going to really make use of Casper Labs will be enterprises. Can you just explain how and what the best use for them for utilizing Casper Labs, and what are they going to get out of it?
Absolutely. So I'll start with a general comment and then give a very specific example. So which might highlight one of many use cases. But the general comment is blockchain is an excellent form of copy protection and immutability, meaning a task that has happened cannot be reversed. And there's a ledger which is controlled by the general public that maintains all these records. So you can't go and reverse them. And this can have huge benefits for certain things. So let me give you a couple of very specific examples. Let's think about patents. We're working with a company called IPWE. It's very important to be able to track and trace who the owners of these patents are, and when these transfers happen, and when these licenses, if the patents are licensed, expire. And all of this information can be relayed to a public chain where it is immutable, but it can also be looked up in a concise manner and in a data structure that's serialized. Now, let's extend this concept to other things. For example, if there are things that you don't want counterfeited, if you're running a gold and diamond exchange, or if you're a supply chain company managing parts for aerospace or medical devices, the risk expensive because people have a lot of manual processes around it. But now, if you have, one single source of truth that is immutable and cannot be reversed, you can add a lot more trust and security across all these transactions. And then, of course, there's standard financial technology. Core banking systems are antiquated, and blockchain technology can really bring them into the 21st century. So, TLDR, there's a ton of use cases, but really it's the underlying copy protection and immutability of a blockchain that enables all these use cases.
Thank you. Very well said. I agree. One interesting thing is that you were recently in the GCC region in the UAE, and you were speaking about, DeFi. So how does that relate? I mean, what do you think about DeFi? And later on, I'm going to ask you, what do you have planned for the region?
Great. So let me address the DeFi thing. I think DeFi is really at its really early stages. I think it will become a big thing, but right now, it's mostly swaps and yield farms. And while interesting as an asset class, this is much smaller than if you think about standard equities, debt, etc. What I think is going to happen eventually is all these things like equities and debts will be standardized and algorithmized. And once you do that, the blockchain becomes an excellent settlement layer for it. We're a ways away from that happening. There's actually a lot that needs to be built to ensure that large institutions will start porting these assets onto the blockchain. But I think that's really where the industry is eventually going to go. Toward that end, there's a pretty large partnership we're working on to begin the algorithmization of these financial assets. We're still working out the final details, so we can't announce the name, but there should be an announcement coming out in the next few weeks.
That's great to hear, Mrinal. You've been busy. That's very good to hear.
Yes, I have not gotten a lot of sleep the last few months.
Good. But it's all going to be worth it in the end, right?
Yes, we hope we've built something that our community is proud of, and that the participants, it's not our network, it's the public's network once Mainnet is launched. And we've worked really hard to try and bring something great to the market, but at the end of the day, it's all in service of the community, and I hope it's something that they get behind and are proud to take forward.
I'm sure it will be. Unlock is from the region, for the region, and we cover everything that's going on in the blockchain. And I'm always going to ask this question, is that what are you going to be doing in the region? And I recently heard some good news. So the floor is yours on that.
Yeah, so we've already hired a managing director for the Middle East and North Africa region. His name is Saeed Al-Darmaki. He's he used to work at ADIA, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. Extremely well qualified, understands the space extremely well. And we're already working on two things. One is our budget to expand the team, get office space, etc. And second, a pretty big partnership within the UAE region. Again, cannot give specific details because we have a signed MOU, but we haven't gone to definitive materials. But this will be made public soon. But the long and short of it is the region is very, very important to us. We've already made our first very senior level hire, and there'll be many more to come. We think there's a lot of interest in the underlying technology, especially based on the conversations we've had. And given how we're uniquely equipped to provide consulting and services to enterprises, I think we can drive some real adoption and innovation within the region.
That is I'm very, very happy to hear that. And I'm glad you'll be having an office in Dubai and that you've taken on Saeed Al-Darmaki. He's been one of the vanguards for blockchain in the UAE and in the region. So congratulations on that.
Yes, we couldn't be happier. We think it was a perfect fit. We spent a whole week together in Dubai. Couldn't be more excited.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm sure we're going to have more conversations in the future. And I want to thank you once again for, speaking to us today. I want to thank our listeners and see you soon.
Thank you, Laura. Glad to speak anytime. And thank you, everyone, for listening.